Look at this image. This is Eagle Stadium in Allen, Texas. It seats 18,000 people. It has a high-definition video board larger than what you see in some NBA arenas, and it costs $60 million to build for a high school football team. When most people see these numbers, they have a very visceral reaction. They call it ego, they call it waste, and they ask, why are we spending nearly $100 million on a game when teachers are underpaid? But I want to suspend that judgment for just the next 10 minutes. But if you look at this not as an educator, but as a real estate investor, that stadium isn't a waste of money. It is actually one of the most sophisticated asset protection schemes in the American economy. Welcome to another segment of Let's Talk Real Estate. I'm Mark Meras, and I'm joined by my business partner, Kyle Kreick.
And together, we are the co-founders of Paragon Realty Advisors located in Uptown Dallas. In the high-stakes world of North Texas real estate, you don't buy a home just for the square footage, and you don't even buy it just for the test scores. You buy it for the soft power. Today we're going to break down the Friday Night Lights arbitrage. We're going to look at the math, the laws, and the sociology that explains why a massive scoreboard helps protect your home's value from a recession, and why living in a town that obsesses over high school sports might actually be the safest place to park your net worth. To understand this, we have to start by destroying a myth that almost every homebuyer believes: the good school fallacy.
If you are looking to buy a home for your family, the first thing you usually do is open Zillow or Redfin, find a house you like, and scroll down to the great schools rating. You're looking for a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10, prioritizing high test scores and college readiness. This is a great starting point, but from an investment standpoint, it has a ceiling. We call this diminishing returns. Let's compare two hypothetical school districts. District A is an academic factory. Think of places like Plano or Richardson. They have incredible academics, and their schools go to Ivy League schools. But that's it. It's strictly a place to learn math. Then you have District B, the lifestyle district. Think of Southlake, Carroll, or Highland Park. They also have great test scores, but they have a distinct brand, the Dragons or the Scots. The entire town shuts down on Friday nights. Here is what the data tells us. Once a district reaches an A rating academically, getting to an A+ doesn't actually move home prices that much. But moving from an academic factory to a lifestyle district creates a massive premium. In Southlake, Carroll, homes can trade at a premium of nearly 400% compared to the surrounding suburbs. You cannot explain the 400% price difference just because of the SAT scores are 20 points higher. That premium is the price of admission into the specific social ecosystem. Think of the school district like a country club. The property taxes are your membership dues, and the stadium is a golf course. Even if you never play a round of golf, you want the course to be pristine because that supports the value of the homes lining the fairway.
So how do these districts afford these palaces without bankrupting the taxpayers? This is where we get into the Robin Hood paradox. It involves a little bit of boring math, but it is the key to understanding the whole system. In Texas, there's a school finance law known as recapture, or Robin Hood. The simplified version is this: if a property wealthy district collects too much money in taxes for daily operations, like teacher salaries and electricity, the state of Texas takes that extra money and redistributes it to property poor districts. So if you are a wealthy town and you raise taxes to hire more teachers, a huge chunk of that money leaves your town and goes to Austin. You don't see the benefit. However, there's a massive loophole. School taxes are split into two buckets. Bucket 1 is maintenance and operations. That's the one subject to Robin Hood. Bucket 2 is interest and sinking, or INS. This is the money used to pay off debt for construction and capital improvements. Crucially, money collected for Bucket 2 is generally exempt from recapture. So put yourself in the shoes of the voters in Allen or Southlake. You have a choice. You can keep your tax rate the same and send millions of dollars away to the state government, or you can issue a bond, build a $60 million stadium, and keep every single penny of that tax revenue right there in your own community. It creates a use it or lose it mentality. Residents vote for a stadium not because they love football, but because it's a form of asset protection. They would rather have a luxury asset down the street than a wealth transfer to the state capitol.
This leads to what we call the infrastructure of soft power. When Allen built Eagle Stadium, critics said it was a waste. But look at the real estate listings in Allen. They explicitly mention proximity to the stadium. It acts as a loss leader. In business, a loss leader is a product that you sell at a loss just to get people into the store, like Costco rotisserie chickens. The stadium is a rotisserie chicken. It loses money on operations, sure, but it anchors the brand of the entire city. It signals to the world this community has resources. We have pride. We have money. And this isn't just about football anymore. The market is evolving. Look at Prosper ISD. Recently, voters there actually rejected a proposal for a second $94 million stadium, but in that same election, they approved a $125 million performing arts center. Why? Because of Friday Night Lights, Arbitrage is shifting towards holistic amenities. A world-class arts center attracts a creative class, remote workers moving from California who want their kids to have the best theater programs. This creates a lock-in effect. Even empty nesters vote yes on these bonds because of the quiet library effect. If a school is just a place for academics, it's invisible to the community. But a stadium or an arts center makes the town feel alive. And that vitality is what keeps property values high when you eventually decide to sell.
But buildings are just concrete. The real asset protections comes from the people. We need to talk about the social safety net, specifically the booster clubs. If you live in a normal town, the PTA sells brownies. In these Friday Night Lights districts, the booster clubs function more like a Fortune 500 networking node. Take the Dads Club in Highland Park or the Athletic Boosters in Southlake. These are 501c3 nonprofits ran by C-suite executives with budgets that rival small businesses. Now imagine we hit a recession. The economy crashes and people start losing jobs. In a standard subdivision, foreclosures go up and home values crash. But in these high social capital districts, if a dad in the quarterback club loses his job, the network activates. Because these parents have spent hundreds of hours together volunteering, there's a high trust relationship. The network absorbs the blow, the dad finds a new job through a connection in his club, and he keeps paying his mortgage. We actually saw this in the 2008 financial crisis. Homes in districts like Southlake and Highland Park remained incredibly sticky and liquid while generic suburbs plummeted. You are effectively buying an insurance policy against unemployment, and the high property taxes are just your monthly premium.
There is one final layer to this protection strategy, and that's the Iron Curtain. We have to look at how those districts handle zoning. There are two models, the one high school model and the fragmented model. Allen, Southlake, and Lovejoy operate on the one high school model. No matter where you live in town, your kid goes to the high school. Everyone supports the same team. This is incredible for real estate because it unifies the market. There is no bad side of town zoned to the older, weaker high school. Compare that to a fragmented district where they build a new high school every few years, creating tiers where older zones suffer. Furthermore, the most exclusive districts practice what essentially amounts to wealth zoning. They close their borders. Highland Park and Lovejoy generally do not allow open enrollment. They aggressively investigate residency to ensure you actually sleep there. These create artificial scarcity. If a district allows open enrollment, it commoditizes the education, like a club that lets anyone in for free. But by keeping the district closed, they ensure that every student represents a household that paid the entry fee via the price of the house. It maintains a price floor that is incredibly hard to break.
So what does this mean for you? If you're looking to buy a home or simply looking to understand the strange economics of American suburbs, here's your soft power checklist. First, look for the one high school town. These offer the highest appreciation ceiling because the entire community's resources are funneled into that one brand. Second, audit the booster club. Go to their website. Does it look like a bake sale or does it look like a corporation? If they have a corporate sponsor and a slick website, that is a leading indicator of neighborhood stability. And third, follow the bonds. It sounds counterintuitive, but you want to buy into a district where voters consistently vote yes to raise their own taxes for infrastructure. It signals a community that is still in the investment phase, not the liquidation phase.
The Friday Night Lights phenomenon is easy to mock. It's easy to look at a $60 million stadium and call it excessive. And maybe morally it is. But economically, it is a fortress. These facilities create scarcity, the booster club ensures liquidity, and the brand signals vitality. So next time you drive past a high school stadium that looks like it belongs in the NFL, don't laugh at the waste. respect the arbitrage, because that scoreboard is one thing standing between those homeowners and a market correction. Communities that play together stay solvent together.
And if you're looking to buy or sell in DFW, reach out to us at www.paragondfw.com. If you found this video helpful, make sure you give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button and notification bell, and you'll have access to all our content, current and future. And finally, make sure you leave a comment below. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you for watching this video, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one.